Hey agents, how's everyone doing? It's Patrick Wolf here. Welcome to another build video. Today's build video is going to be a pretty simple one, but it's taken me quite a long time to get the right pieces and to figure out exactly how we want to do this. This is going to be the best skill build for TU5. This is an all general build. This focuses around every single skill except the explosive skills. If you want to use explosive skills and do the massive amount of damage that you can do out of skills, use the Hellstorm build. I will put a link in the description, maybe at the end of the video as well. Go check it out. It's on my channel. That's very good if you want the most damage output. This is going to be a healer, a drone build, a hive build, everything like that. A turret. Your turret will be doing massive amounts of damage. This build uses all the other skills if you don't want to use an explosive build. So this is the best way we're going to do it. First of all, we need to look at the specializations. So this build is going to be great for PvE and PvP, to heal yourself, to have a strong defender drone, to have a lot of damage because you're still going to be doing a lot of damage. I think I do about 27k a bullet with a full skill build. So this is a very, very strong build. We don't overdo it because skill power shouldn't be above 2700, I would say, because as long as you can get all your mods active, it's extremely important. All right, so specializations. What are we going to look for? I'm not going to tell you guys exactly what to use because survivalist is going to be for if you want to be focused around being a healer and maybe protection from elites because that's what that goes around. Sharpshooter if you want to make a rifle build. This build does not spec into individual guns or any type of guns. So you can use if you use a rifle or a marksman rifle, you're going to be wanting to use sharpshooter. That would be great because using a nemesis with this build would be really strong. So I would personally go for this if you want to be using the nemesis, but I like to use my LMG, so we're going to go for gunner. Demolitionist, like I said before, is good for the Hellstorm build, for any destructive builds. Don't use it for this unless you want to ignore, if you're going against people who have a lot of explosions, who deal a lot of explosive damage. You want to be able to ignore an explosive every 60 seconds. So it depends how you want to play. I've gone for gunner because I want the 150% armor kit plus the Banshee Pulse. I really like this, and this makes it very strong. You can get a lot of utility from this, especially in PvP. So this will just disorientate your opponents for a very long time and very effectively. And also, I want to have this massive LMG mag because sustained damage for this is very important. You don't want to have an assault rifle that has 40 bullets that sprays a little bit and then you have to waste time reloading. Constant damage is going to be the key for this build because you're still going to be able to do a lot of damage. So let's get into this build. This is my best skill build for TU5. Alright, so armor is going to be 300k, 60k health, and 2600 skill power. That's all rounded off. So 3, 6, and 12. I feel like that's a really good balance because we want to be able to, not just be shoot marshmallows at people. You'll be able to do a lot of damage with this build. You won't believe it. We're going to be getting like 160,000 healing without the BTSU gloves procced. So you will be able to heal yourself instantly every single chem heal. But we'll get into the skills later because this is focuses around every single skill and it's really, really strong. So classic M60, we've gone for this one because it's got unhinged. It's my highest damage that I have, 27.4k. That's a lot of damage for an LMG. With this caliber, we have no extra weapon damage, so this is really good. If you think about it, we can get up to upwards of 35k with a normal LMG build, but this is still pretty strong. I'd go for unhinged. Accurate just helps, especially if you're on console. If you're on console, unhinged will take a lot of the weapon handling away, and this will help you a lot to get back your accuracy. Otherwise, at range, you're gonna have a problem. So when we mod this, make sure that you have your ACOG scope. You can put whatever other mods you want. ACOG scope will give you the 25% headshot damage from the Nemesis. I'm sure you guys know that. We're gonna be using the Nemesis. This does a lot of damage. Very, very good for PvE if you want to use this. Even in PvP, if you can sneak up on people, you can one-shot people with this gun. So definitely go and re-roll it from the bench to get a gear score 500 if you haven't, because it'll do more damage and it just feels better having a gear score 500 gun. I'm sure you guys know what I mean. Pistol, go for whatever you want there. Then the mask. I've tested ongoing directive and it doesn't stack up to exactly what we want here. I'm going to go over all the things that I would change the build if you would like to have something else to give you guys options. Because like I always say in my build videos, these are just ideas. This is a template. You guys can go crazy. You can add whatever you want. If you think something will be better, if you want damage to elites, for example, if you want to make a skill PvE hybrid from this build, you can go for something like this. You can just get more damage to elites, still have a decent amount of skill power, but to have everything active, I want to go for this. Empowered is very good. That 10% is not a joke. You could say roll something else, but that's very strong. It gives you that nice little boost of skill power that we need, especially if you don't have the right gear pieces. I mean, we all know what the RNG is like. So 12% skill haste, 323 skill power is very high roll for this. Now, Wyvern Wear is very nice because we're going to get 15% drone skill power, which is actually really good because as you saw in my last video, the deflector drone is very strong in PvE. So this is also very important to have this. So let's go into the chest piece now. Oh, hold on. Before we go into that, guys, I want to show you guys something. So with this build, we can choose a few other items. So if I would probably go for this as my, another option. Creeping Death is nice because you can get, you can get your status effect spread. Now it's up to you if you want to do that. It is active in this build. We do have damage release and skill S. This would be a good option, but the skill power goes down a lot for me, and I don't like that. But that is an option for you guys right there. The chest piece as well. If you want to go for more health, you can do that, or more armor. We can get like 370k armor on this build if we wanted to, but I've gone for the health. It's nice to have that extra health. For some reason, the healing that I have from this build, I don't really feel like I need too much armor. So it's up to you. It needs to be at Alp Summit because that 20% skill haste is vital for this build. We want to be stacking as much skill haste as we can, but obviously we don't want to overdo it. So I've got 577 skill power, 32k health. I can actually re-roll this. I can get upwards of 1,000 skill power if I wanted to. You can do that. Everything's active, so I don't need to do that right now. But I'm just showing you guys what your options are. Hardened, for some reason, I don't know, that 10% feels like it's more. It just feels like more. If I put anything else on, it really lowers my armor by quite a bit. So I would go for hardened there. You can decide what you want. If you want to go for a little bit more of a hybrid, as you can see, this is more spec towards it. This would be really strong. If you want to maybe use your Seeker Mines with your turret or something like that, just keep in mind that we want to make sure the BTSU gloves are proc because this is a BTSU build. Ongoing directive must be the holster. This is important because we get 4 electronics. That's why we have a total of 12. So we need to have this on. Everything else is not going to do. Make sure you get an ongoing directive holster. This gives you 4 utility mod slots, which you want to be focusing around your best skills: Chem Launcher, Turret, Hive, Firefly. As you can see, I've got everything nice there. So try and roll some more utility mod slots if you guys need it. I got a decent skill power roll. It's not great. The skill haste is okay. I can still go and re-roll this if I want to. But like I said before, I'm trying to make a lot of builds. So I don't really want to be wasting all my electronics because I get ideas out of the blue. So I want to just keep them so I can re-roll whatever things else I need to re-roll for you guys to see. All right, so the backpack is going to be important as well. So we're going to have hardened because we want to still be a bit tanky. We don't want to just be squishy and have 3,000 skill power and all that. We want to still be able to tank a lot of bullets. So we got the Yellow Guard. This gives us 5% total armor, 20.5% total armor there, 5k armor as well, plus 20% skill haste. This backpack is perfect. We got hardened as well, gives us extra armor. Tech support is very important. This refreshes, and you have to have this on your skill build. Don't worry about this 10 seconds because you get that 25% extra skill damage at all times. Because if your turret is up, it's going to keep killing enemies. It's just going to keep proccing. So depending on how much damage it does, it'll just keep proccing itself. So the BTSU gloves, obviously we all know about this. Energy infusion is what you want to focus on. This is going to give us 120% extra damage, healing, and skill duration, which is great. It's perfect. We love these gloves. Make sure to have these. The knee pads, this is where it gets a bit tricky. Now we've got 2 options here. I'm going to go over this. It's going to take a while to explain. Just be patient, guys. So we've got 344 skill power with calculated. So this gives me 10% cooldowns. So it's not skill haste. This scales a bit higher. So kills from cover reduce skill cooldowns by 10%. Don't be fooled. It's not actually skill haste. This will be a larger chunk. So it is worth it. But now what I personally went for before I put that piece on was I went for this right here. So I went for the skill haste, the 20% skill haste and the 22% skill haste up there. Now what this does is it brings my my skill haste to 110%. So this is what I generally run, 110% skill haste. So if I were you guys, I would swap these knee pads up depending on what skill you want to use. If you want to use the drone, go for this because that 110% skill haste is going to be great. Obviously calculated right here works really well, but the drone takes a long time to come back. So it's up to you. You can choose between the two, but I always swap between them. A build, you can't just keep all the pieces on whatever skill you use. Try and swap it up. Now, as you can see, if I take this off, it's not a Wyvern wear, so it's going to take away that drone skill power as well. So unfortunately, it is a bit of it kind of goes against it because it would be perfect if I had this on here so I could get the drone skill power, but hopefully your drone will have, the high skill power to put the mods on. So anyways, that's what we're going to be doing now. Then when you mod all of these gear pieces, you need to make sure that you have good offensive mod slots as well. I don't really have a lot of here. I think I need to get them from my other character because my other character's got LMG damage. So you just put whatever damage mods you want, spec towards, if it's LMG damage, if you want to use a rifle, anything like that. So it's really up to you guys. So just go for that as long as you can get your damage pretty high because you still want to be outputting a lot of damage. So that's pretty much what the pieces we're going to be using. I hope you understood my explanations. Let's get into the juicy part now. So with these knee pads that have the skill power, because we've gone for the more skill power, obviously we're not going to be using the drone for now, for example. So let's get into this juicy part now. So this is the stats and the skills themselves. So let's have a look at the stats for this build. At the moment, you can see crit chance, nothing. We don't need that. Weapon damage is good. 15 plus 25% on the LMG. Spec to whatever gun you're using. Make sure to do that. DTE. Now you can add DTE if you guys would like to. That's up to you. This build is a skill build, but you can make it into a hybrid, no problem. Armor, 304k, very nice. Don't worry about anything else there. You're gonna take a lot of damage from like burn and thing. You're gonna be confused and disrupted. But with this chem launcher that you're gonna be having, it's gonna just heal you instantly. So don't worry about that at all. Skill haste. Now we normally have 110% skill haste with the other piece of gear, so that varies depending on what skills we want to use. If I go to my chest piece and I re-roll that 50 whatever skill power to 1000, I won't have to do it at all. We're going to be having massive amounts of skill power, so we could probably use the skill haste knee pads with the highest skill power. So you guys can go do that, get 1000 skill power chest piece, then you won't have this issue. It just depends how you want to play. If you want more skill haste or more skill power, it's up to you guys, depending on what pieces of gear that you have. As you can see, we've got just shy of 3000 for a lot of the skills. Oh. So we have right there, we've got 3000 Seeker Mine, 27 Firefly, 28 Hive, 26 Pulse. It varies. You can put more skill power. I could get all of these to 3k if I just go reroll my chest piece. But like I said, it's up to you, whatever gear pieces you want. I want to make sure you guys understand the explanation I'm giving so you know how to reroll your gear because not everyone has the same gear pieces. So right here, I can get up to 1000 skill power. That'll be just shy of 3000. So definitely do that. You can get massive amounts of utility from that because if I change my knee pads from the skill power, I could use the skill haste ones, get 110% skill haste while still having all my mods active. If you guys have better mods and require more skill power, maybe re-roll the skill power on your holster and get it higher. But I don't need to do that right now because I just alter between the two pieces. So let's go into the skills right now. So the pulse. The pulse is going to do crazy. 144 skill haste, 102 skill haste, 12-second pulse. I think it's actually about a 10-second. I don't think. Oh yeah, it's 12-second for this is the Banshee pulse. Very nice for PvP. If we go into the normal pulse, that's going to be a 9-second pulse. 19 for that one, which is very low for that. 14-second for the remote pulse, which is really good. So we got massive amounts of skill haste for that. Depending on what you want to use. If you want to use the turret, you will be doing massive amounts of damage with this in PvE and PvP. As you can see, you can put an auxiliary battery. I could get the turret higher if I change my mods around and I go and re-roll my chest piece. So just keep that in mind. I could get a further 500 skill power by just re-rolling my chest piece. So that's not an issue for me. I probably will do that later. But like I say, guys, I'm trying to get all my builds in order for you to see. So I can't just be spending my electronics and things every day. You know what it's like. So massive amounts of damage, 144% damage there. We could spec into more skill power if we wanted to. So the damage is going to be high there. You can choose whatever turret you want except the artillery. This one's pretty good as well. The sniper turret's interesting, but I wouldn't really go for that. The flame turret, I'd want to see a change. I want to see the 360-degree shooting. Unfortunately, it just shoots at a small degree, and it's not very nice to use. I don't like using this at all. I just wish it was better. 15-meter range is also very low, and I haven't seen better mods. Now, the Hive is extremely strong with this build. You can heal yourself massive amounts. It's really good for team play. But the Stinger is probably the best. You will one-shot NPCs in challenging. I don't know about heroic, but in challenging you will one-shot. If you can get better mods, possibly in heroic, you can just destroy. If they are in a group and you throw this on a group of NPCs, they will die. They will just get ripped to pieces. That's very strong with this build. So make sure to put this on if you want to see it or give it a try. It's very, very good. Alright, so this is where it gets interesting. The Chem Launcher, 140k armor repair, which is very nice. Now, the BTSU gloves, as you saw in the clip, make the Chem heals last for a long period of time, so you can run through them many, many, many times. This is very, very strong. So make sure to have good mods on here. This is probably a go-to if you want to be surviving. So you don't have to worry about your armor just because of that. The Firefly is great. The blind, I always use it. 12-second Firefly. We have got 11% blind, 127% skill haste, and 133% skill haste. Very good, vital to this build if you want to be using the BTSU gloves. Allows you to proc them, so make sure to have that if you want it. Don't worry about these explosive ones. Don't use a Seeker Mine for this. If you want, use the destructive build or the Hellstorm build that I have on my channel. The drone is going to be very powerful as well. You can use the normal one, but I wouldn't recommend it. I'd rather use a turret. It doesn't do that much damage. The deflector drone is very, very strong. As you can see, if I put my skill haste knee pads on, I'll be getting like a 25-second cooldown, which is very good for this drone. Very, very strong. In PvP, it works as well. It could really help you in PvP situations. And in PvE, it's incredible. You can run through entire missions with this, as you guys saw from my previous video. Very, very nice. Now this healer, I wouldn't use this. Just rather use your chem launcher. The chem heal is still very strong. So the shield. As you guys can see, I've got 97% health. I can change that. We can get 1.3 million on the shield. So as you can see, all the other skills are fully utilized in this build. It's extremely strong. You guys mix it up to whatever you want. Make sure to have high skill power rolls when you go and recalibrate everything. So I will go and recalibrate this and get up to 3k. So then all my mods will be active, all the beast mods that I have. So make sure those are all active. I just wanted to give you an example of where you get to the limit of your skill power. So don't go too much over skill power because you'll be wasting your utility for like health, skill haste. Try and get max skill haste while keeping your skill power just enough to unlock all your mods. So that's how you're going to be balancing them out. So you would go to the crafting station, or sorry, the recal station, recalibrate this, get your skill power higher and see if your mods are active. If not, increase your skill power somewhere else. And if it is high enough, focus on skill haste, get your skill haste up there, try get to 100%. But anyways, guys, that is the build. I hope you did like this. This is my best skill build in TU5. It's very strong for PvE and PvP. Very fun to use, very nice. You feel like you can survive a lot. You can do a lot of damage through skills. You get them back very quickly. And I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, click the bell, and I'll be seeing you agents in the next one. Peace out, boys.